What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. To the left side here, we have Voiceless Voice going up against Brandon Despia. This is going to be the 60-card Brandon Despia build. A fun build, to be honest. You know, having lots of engine cards. You know, we do sometimes choose to go second as well. So we're going to be seeing a die roll here. You know, I think that we probably don't choose to go second versus a Voiceless Voice player here. But we're going to be seeing the Brandon player choosing to go first or second. Before I dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, help the channel a lot. We're going to see them choose to go first here by starting off with a patchwork. I'm going to be able to search for a copy of the Edgem Chain as well as a copy of Polymerization, which is a nice extender in the deck. You know, being able to Polymerization anything out, you know, also helps you play through a copy of Brandon, or I guess Brandon Diffusion getting ashed. When you see looks like a Ghost Ogre and a Veiler in the hand of the Voiceless Voice player here. That could have been not a Ghost Ogre and being a Diviner instead, though. I only got a quick glimpse of that card, or a Mourner, I should say. We're going to see a Brandon Diffusion going to activate. It's going to look like it's going to resolve here. Most likely dumping, obviously, the Albaz, but depending on what the other card we're going to choose to go for is going to indicate kind of how this turn's going to go. We're going to dump the copy of the Lubellion there, so choosing to go for that Albion. And then we will get to activate the effect of the Albion. It is going to resolve here. We're going to be banishing a copy of the Chain as well as the Albaz to go for a copy of Lubellion. Lubellion's going to be able to activate its effect, discarding another copy of itself here. And we're going to chain a Veiler onto that. We still are going to have the branded and red line. We are going to be having in the hand already. So we're going to be able to actually fuse to go into it here. Going into a copy of the Mirror Jade, and then Lubellion's going to resolve, putting back the Albaz alongside. It could be Lubellion as well to just go for a copy of the Dragos Depelia if we wanted to. Yeah, so we're going to go for Dragos Depelia here. There is another line where you can go for the Boral Furious by if you're wanting to do Albaz and Albaz. And we are going to be seeing a Talents here, going to activate its effects. And it looks like we're going to see a Diviner, Low, Ghost Ogre, as well as the copy of Prayer here. So we're going to get that Low put back into the deck. And you do have Lubellion here to tag out with for the Albion. We can activate the effect, putting the branded Lost onto the field. So Dragos Depelia is not really going to come up here. Unless we do it on the summon there. And Albion's going to activate its effects during the end phase to set. We're going to set a copy of Retribution here. Okay. So, going to be able to have an interruption using the Mirror Jade first, which is going to then dump, and then, you know, if they choose to Ghost over the Mirror Jade, they will be able to Retribution, which is pretty nice. And also just being generically a counter trap is just also really good so they can't interrupt it. So we're going to be seeing them normal summon up the Diviner, activating the effect of the Mirror Jade on the summon here. Going to be dumping a copy of Titaniclad. And they're just going to scoop it up, realizing that game's going to be lost. You know, they can't Ghost over that. But if they have to Ghost over it, or else they're going to get hit with a copy of Retribution. No matter what they actually end up activating, it's just going to get hit with something regardless. They no longer can dump the Treyarchia because they're going to be getting their Diviner banished. It's like you might as well just scoop it up going to the next game because chances are you're not going to be winning that one at all. So we're going to be seeing Game 2, and this is one of the problems, or I guess not problems, one of the advantages of the 60-card build is like you choose to go with these power spells. Do your opponent make you go first, or do they make you go second? Because really, no matter what, your hands are going to be pretty good. You know, you don't necessarily have to revert to the puppet lock in this build. So, you know, going first can be still problematic if they do think you're going to side out, you know, going to be able to go for the branded red and even like set up a Retribution like we saw the previous game, or really anything else, just being able to set up Guardian Chimera, can be quite nice to be able to pop. But then on the Voiceless Voice side here, having maybe potentially the Ostinato combo in their deck, or they copy a Branded Fusions, depending on what they want to go to. If they do choose to go for the Branded Fusion line, going for a Jowgen can be quite threatening. But on the other side, if they choose to play Ostinato, they could end up on a Vortex, as well as a copy either of the Appaloosa for 3 or something else like that as well here. So we're going to be seeing the Voiceless player choosing to go first with a normal summon of Diviner. So it looks like they're not going to see any Ostinato lines for now. They're going to dump the copy of Treyarchia here. We're going to activate the effect, tributing itself out. Then we're going to activate the effect of Herald, summon it from the deck, summoning up that copy of the Low. Having access to both of them is quite nice. The fact that Diviner can do that is just a little bit of a cherry on top. Then we're going to activate the Low effect, going to be able to place the barrier onto the field. And then we're going to activate the effect of the barrier there to search for a copy of... Looks like we're placing the new barrier onto the into the hand as well, having to choose between that trap and the regular barrier. Then we're activating the effect of Saphira here, discarding herself. It's going to be dumping the copy of the Prayers, as well as searching for a copy of the Skull Guardian. And then we will be able to activate the effect to... We're going to see... I'm thinking here, okay. We're going to see them activate a Druid Worm, targeting the copy of the Saphira before they can activate the effect. And we're going to then play the barrier with the Prayer, and then Prayer is going to activate its effect, sending the Low to summon out the Skull Guardian from the hand here. So having access to both Low and Diviner once again here, but having the Low on the field so they have the negate set up immediately, dumping that Low so Low can summon itself back out. So if they did have another hand trap, they would be able to play through it, is quite beneficial. We're going to see them search for another copy of Low here, though, which is interesting to me, having triple Low in rotation. Maybe you want to go for another copy of Saphira if they do play it, or maybe the old man Sorarvis or whatever his name is. But we're going to be linking away here for the copy of the Anima. No longer being able to go for the copy of the Link Curry Bow. Rest in peace, our boy. Let's go into the copy of SP. SP is going to be banishing that copy of Druid Worm. And we're going to set an additional card and pass with 2 cards in our hand, one of them being the Low. We're going to see a Allure of Darkness being drawn, drawing 2 cards here, and then banishing the copy of Mercurier, getting another resource going to be added to the hand here, which is pretty crazy. We could even go for a copy of Albion, which gets another additional card as well. So going essentially a +1 with the resources in the graveyard. But choosing to go for Spriggan's Kit, not my favorite Spriggan's, but I'm not the one playing here, so everyone's build is a bit different. We're going to see Branded Loss going to be activated there. They're going to activate Fusion Deployment. This can summon out a copy of the Cartesia or a copy of Albaz, depending on kind of what they want to go for. I did not see what they revealed there. I think myself I would go for the Cartesia, too. Definitely a good option, because you want to be able to beat the copy of SP there. So we're going to be seeing the Lubellion going to activate its effects to search. Are we going to search for a Sorneer or a copy of the Magnemite? Going for the Sorneer there, okay. This is going to be able to set us up with the Retribution in the graveyard or a copy of Albion, depending on what we already have. Lost will be able to search us for the Albion itself. So we could see maybe a dump of Branded Fusion or a dump of Retribution, depending on kind of what they want to go for. We're going to then summon out Kit right away with using our normal summon. And we're going to activate its effects. This is going to let us search for a copy of the Branded and High Spirits. We were thinking about Branded and High Spirits. We're going to go for Branded Fusion. Branded and High Spirits is really good with the Sorneer in the hand. I know there's some builds playing triple copies of Albion as well as triple copy of Sorneer in the main, just for that effect. They're going to be putting back a card to the bottom of the deck here. there is a world where if you did get multiple copies of, and we see a activation of the Branded Fusion here, they're going to chain D-Barrier, they're going to chain Cartesia, and they're going to chain the SP. I think they attempted to chain the Skill Guardian, but they unfortunately cannot, because you can't negate the activations of the cards. So we're going to see them get locked out of fusions. We're going to activate the D-Barrier, and then, or we're going to activate the talents to draw 2 to activate that SP, and they just admit defeat there, rather than they just don't have enough. Yeah, there's not many cards you could draw there that would help you out. I mean, depending on what they put back, if you drew into High Spirits, you could play. But other than that, like, you know, drawing 2, I know they play Desires. Branded in red doesn't do anything. None of the cards really do truly anything. You have to find a way to like discard one of them, and like really at that point you just want like Albion, and then Albion can dump the Albaz, draw another card, and then you already had the Branded red in the hand. You'd be able to play for next turn, but it's like really you just don't have anything. You can go Patchwork Search, but at that point you can't fuse. You can't find a way to fuse. You would have Cartesia coming back during the end phase of this turn, but at that point it's just like, oh, well, what are you going to do? Your SP is going to continuously banish that copy of Cartesia. But moving on to Game 3 here, we're going to be seeing the Voices Voice player start off once again here, being forced to go first. And we see a copy of Extravagance, so that means that they're not playing the Branded Fusion nor the copies of the Ostinato here. So going for a pure build, we have to see a draw 2, and that draws us into a Cosmic and another copy of Extrav. We're going to activate Saphira here. I wonder if they thought they were going to be made to go first. We're going to see them search or dump the copy of the Prayers and as well search the Skull Guardian. Do we see no copies of Bestials right now? I mean, there is no monsters on the field, so they can't really even attempt to activate it. They will be safe in that regard. We're going to activate the effect here of the Saphira using 2 monsters to go for the copy of Skull Guardian. And then we get to search for the low here. I'm not too sure what the other card was, but I do see the Veiler being used. And then we're going to be normal summoning with the low. It's going to let us activate its effects to be able to place the barrier onto the field. And that's going to activate its effects, searching for the trap card here, which is going to be pretty nice as a form of interruption. You know, being a nice little pop. We're going to see a set 2 cards here. And a pass, you know, being the Cosmic as well as the copy of the trap. We're going to see them start off with a Foolish Burial here. You know, dumping potentially the copy of, I was going to say Tragedy, the Sorenir, you know. We're going to be searching then for the copy of the Eluber. Normal summoning out the Eluber, activating the effect. You know, we still are only using that 1 card that we have. So essentially having still 5 more in the hand here. And they have to choose, like, do they want to negate the activation there and, you know, hope they don't search for a lost, or they're just going to be able to search for the lost here. We're searching for a Branded in red. This indicates that we either have a Branded Fusion in the hand or a Branded lost, and we just want to play with that Tragedy there. We're going to see a Lubellion activate once again, opening up Lubellion 2 games in 60 cards is pretty crazy. But searching for the Sorenir. We're going to then activate the Albion as well. So we just have all the extenders. Dumping the Albaz is going to let us now have access to any of the Branded, or I guess the Albaz related fusions with that Branded in red. We're going to then activate the effect of Sorenir here, targeting the copy of Druisworm. Then we're going to be tagging itself out for the Lubellion. Then we're going to be able to activate the effect of the Sorenir there to dump, most likely the Retribution here. We definitely do not want that in our deck. or branded opening. And then we're going to see Lubellion get activate effects, placing the branded lost onto the field. Now, do we see the trap being flipped up or the cosmic to essentially get rid of this? On the summon, we're going to see, on that, we're going to be seeing it cosmic real quick. They're going to be activating droplets in response, sending a spell. And the trap, okay. So already having the trap in the hand, that definitely makes sense. And then we're going to be looking at the graveyard there. We do have Retribution. Do we have the Branded Fusion is the question. We're going to see the prayer or the trap being activated, putting back the spell to search, or summon here, I guess, the copy of the Circus. And then we're going to be banishing the trap to add back the copy of Branded Lost. We activate Branded Lost once again. And we do have Guardian Chimera line here. We're going to see Circus activate to tag out into the second copy of the Skull Guardian here, which I believe the effects are now on. We're going to see Branded in red going to activate, targeting the Tragedy, using all three to go for the Guardian Chimera. Yeah. And then we're going to be able to activate the effect here of Guardian Chimera, as well as the Lost searching for the copy of Mercurier. And then we're going to be able to draw one and pop two, popping the trap as well as the Skull Guardian. And then we're going to activate the talents once again here to look at the hand. And we do see the Veiler. We're going to take that Veiler and rip it away. And we have the Branded Fusion on top of all that. That's crazy. You know, we saw the droplets and the copy of talents there, that combo. He actually used this exact combo against me when I was playing Melodious there. An absolutely sick combo that you guys will be seeing in a POV local experience if you guys want to be watching it. It was a good duel. I did forget a little bit of card effects, but I do mention. But we're going to be going right into the copy of the Lubellion and the Albion, patterns. We're going to get also the Edge of Chain effect here. They're going to be shuffling back, going to go for that copy of Mirror Jade. And then we can go Chain effect, search for a Patchwork and a Polymerization. Then we're going to see Chain go for the Polymerization and the Chain, which can also let us get that copy of Albion in the graveyard. I don't think there's any more resources that we do have, though. We're going to activate the effect of Titanic, or activate the Mirror Jade, send the Titanic Clad there, and then they're going to be able to attack. They can't attack directly with the Guardian Chimera. So they attack directly with the Albion here. Because Guardian Chimera is made with Branded in red, therefore they can't attack directly with it, essentially. We're then going to activate Polymerization, going for a copy of the Draco's Tapelia here. This is just going to be for the follow-up, and then, of course, with the Albion and as well as Titanic Clad. If we do play double Branded in red, which I believe we should, which are set out on the field, therefore we do, we are going to be in a big chilling. There could have been a possibility where we actually could have shuffled back instead of the Lubellion. We could have shuffled back the copy of the Guardian Chimera here. So we would have had a line with that where we essentially make the Guardian Chimera with that Branded in red in the follow-up, which would have been quite nice to be able to do. But this is fine as well. When you're in the heat of the moment, it is kind of hard to make sure you remember all those cards. And I believe they also have Mercurier in the hand as well here. So you have Yugiohtcg, a copy of Quem, and then, of course, the Mercurier in the hand, which is pretty nice. I mean, we do have the Extravagance, so we're going to be banishing a bunch of cards from our extra deck once again to try to draw 2 more cards. And it is nice, you know, we have the Cerberus, and now 2 additional cards. We're going to go top 3 here, and we draw into a Prayers. We're going to be seeing the Quem summon back out the Cartesia, and then we're going to go Cartesia effect here, using the Mirror Jade as well as the Granganol to go for the copy of Quertus here. So we're going to be setting up the copy, or not Quertus, but the Granganol dumping the copy of Ad Libitum. We're going to be adding the copy of Albion with the Branded Lost. And so now we can activate Branded Red at any time, go for a copy of the Quertus. And then we're going to be seeing the Ad Libitum bring back the copy of Mirror Jade, which is just absolutely super free, essentially. We're going to be seeing them do add back, and they're going to be banishing 3 of them. We're going to go for Parskinian. Ah, I see. They realize I can't go for Guardian Chimera here. But we're going to go for a Quertus. Or we could go for Masquerade if we do play it. Or Magnum the Reliever as well can be an option to pop additional cards. Okay. Then Mirror Jade is going to be able to bring brought back out using the Ad Libitum there. Then we're going to be seeing the copy of Pre-Prep. Pretty nice card. They're going to take a second to read the barrier because, you know, Magnum will have an effect that they can pop a card on the field. So it's kind of important that you do layer your interruptions correctly. So we have Mirror Jade, Quertus, or we have Mirror Jade, either the Quertus going on the field with the copy of the Granganol. We have Magnum as well as Predaprant Dracostopelia. You know, we have lots of interruptions, as well as do not forget the copy of Mercurier in the hand, which is very, very important. We're going to see the Prayer going to be activated here. It's going to be sending to summon out the copy of the Skull Guardian. I believe it was the low that was sent there. You know, unfortunately it is off the screen, so we can't see it. And I got Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. And Chainlink 3 is going to be the Predaplant Dracostopelia to put on the Skull Guardian. And we're going to be seeing the low summon herself back out. They're going to activate the effect, and it's going to get hit with a copy of Mercurier there. It does not destroy the card, which is pretty nice as well. So low will be stopped searching. And we have 2 cards left in the hand, one of them being the Old Man Cerberus, which we can summon out by putting back 2. But that most likely will be met with the Mirror Jade, I'm going to be safely assuming. They're thinking here. You have 1 card left in hand, and we know they have the Albion in the hand as well. So, like, we're going to see the Magnum. Going to be banishing the Polymerization here to pop. Or to bounce back or pop. I don't even know anymore. I haven't used this card in a bit. One other card is fusion, you can banish 1, target 1 card, destroy it. So we're going to be summoning up those regular Cerberus here, okay. Maybe it had a dodging effect, they're going to be able to activate the Mirror Jade, sending. And they just submit defeat here, realizing it's going to be too much for them to be able to. Oh, also the Quertus being summoned, yeah. The Branded player definitely had the resource game on the loop there. You know, being able to just continuously stop and destroy cards like twice and having so much recursion, being able to like add back those cards and just being able to play through it. But we see Brandon taking the win here, making our opponent choose to go first in that game 3, which definitely is going to surprise some people, especially when a Tempai is running around. You kind of always have to be prepared to go first or second in this format. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to see more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.